Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans.
I am dying laughing at myself. Thank you for all the text messages and phone calls. Y'all couldn't hear me. So I'm just talking, and y'all could not hear me. Shout out to all those that text and called. And no, I couldn't not hear you, but I, didn't pay attention to the phone. I have fixed it. If anybody in the message or in the YouTube chats can tell me if they can hear me, let me know. You should be able to hear me now. So I basically just did a practice run for the last 20 minutes on college football. And hopefully, you guys can hear me. I'm dying laughing. Thank you so much for those that. Thank you, D-Dub. So yeah, I pretty much did a dry run. It's the first time I've, done this like by myself. So don't cry for me, Argentina. Let's get into it, man. College football was riveting last night. Let's just run down the AP top 25 scores. Number 1, Georgia defeated South Carolina 24-14. Number 2, Michigan 31-6 over Bowling Green. Number 3, Florida State defeated Boston College 31-29. Number 4, Texas defeated Wyoming 31-10. Number 6, Ohio State. Cupcake game for them, 63-10 over Western Kentucky. Penn State, 30-13. They're number 7, Washington, 41, Michigan State, 7. Notre Dame, 41, Central Michigan, 17. Number 10, we'll talk about that. Alabama, 17-3 over South Florida. They struggled. Florida, 29, Tennessee, 11. Tennessee 16. Number 12, Utah 31-7 over Weber State. Oregon defeated Hawaii 55-10. LSU defeated Mississippi State 41-14. Missouri 30, Kansas State 27. Oregon State defeated San Diego State 26-9. Ole Miss defeated Georgia Tech 48-23. Colorado. That's the first game we'll talk about here in a minute. Colorado defeated Colorado State 43-35. Oklahoma, another cupcake. They played Tulsa 66-17 over Tulsa. Number 20, North Carolina defeated Minnesota 33-13. Number 21, Duke. Shout out to Duke. They're 3-0, 38 over Northwestern. They're 38-14. Number 23, Washington State. Another cupcake game, they defeated Northern Colorado 64-21. And number 24, UCLA destroyed North Carolina Central 59-7. That was another get money game where an inferior team plays up against an elite team and gets destroyed. But hey, they get a check game, as Coach Prime calls it. And number 25, Iowa defeated Western Michigan 41-10. So, like I said, again, shout out to those that were listening before. And I am sorry that I did not have sound. Hopefully you have sound. I've been told you guys have sound now. And pretty much that was just a dry practice run for myself. Man, so hey, let's talk about the game of the game of the day, the game of the week. Number 18, Colorado defeated Colorado State 43-35. This game, if you was betting on Colorado State and you had 23.5, guess what? You covered. Colorado was supposed to dismantle Colorado State. There was a whole lot of going back and forth, which I never agree with. The Colorado State coach said he wasn't talking to Deion nor the team. And of course, what he said was bulletin board material. I'm just an advocate of just shutting up and just play, bro. Just play. Let your talking, let your work speak for itself. Let your play speak for itself. Anyway, as I get off my soapbox about that, really good game. You know, if there's any doubt in anybody's mind that Shador Sanders is not a big time quarterback, he proved it last night on that 98-yard drive from the back of his end zone and all the way coming back with less than 2 minutes to go. And shout out to them. So let's dive into this game a little bit. This game ended at 2:30 a.m. Eastern time, 12:30 Mountain time, and what a game! It was a really back and forth, a lot of chippiness. There was stuff going on in the beginning of the game, like I said, the talking and stuff like that, and then that builds up a lot of animosity, man. Yes, football is a very violent game, but add upon that, it adds a lot of chippiness, and unfortunately, Travis Hunter, their best player on their team by far on both sides of the ball, he wound up being a casualty of it because there was a late hit from Colorado defensive player that landed. Hunter wound up playing still the first half, but then he was hospitalized in the second half. So that brought about a lot of more animosity. There was another, I can't think of the Colorado State's player's name. He was ejected from the game for targeting, and that got him out the game. So there was a lot of chippiness. There was a lot of things, but didn't take away from some of the gameplay. Colorado State, shout out to them. The quarterback, his name is Fowler Nicholas. He was intercepted on the pick six, and Shiloh Sanders, he brought it back, high stepped it in the end zone like his old man used to do, and I was saying to myself, I said, Colorado is off and running, but Colorado State was able to sustain that with some drives, and then they go up 20. They go up at the half. Excuse me. They go up at the half. So, I'm sorry, I'm looking for something here. So yeah, they go up at the half, 21-14, and sorry, you hear that? Now you hear all the sound. They go up at the half, 21-14, and Colorado State is doing what they're doing. They're passing the ball. They kept on throwing the same drag route, and for whatever reason, Colorado, that's been their Achilles heel. Their defense has not been able to sometimes figure some of these things out. So Colorado State, they were up 21-14 at the half. Like I said, there's a lot of chippiness. And then in the fourth quarter, Colorado was up by 11, 28-17. And they had when they scored that 28 point to go up by 11 with about four something minutes to go. And, Colorado went 3 and out, and then Colorado State got the ball. And this was their chance, their opportunity to get Colorado out of here. And unfortunately, they could not do it. They wound up giving the ball back to Colorado. But hey, shout out to the punter for Colorado State, man. That thing when he poops that ball right at the 2-yard line, you can't ask for nothing better. You really can't ask for anything better. He backs him up at the 2-yard line, and lo and behold, like I said, if you don't think Shador Sanders is a big time quarterback, I think you're wrong. He absolutely proved it last night, where he went 98 yards. And listen, I'm going to give credit to Colorado and Coach Sanders and for what they did for marching that ball down to the other end zone. But I got to put something on Colorado State and the head coach for not playing that soft zone. And I don't understand pro high school, college, why when you go into this prevent defense sometime, and it's like, it's the old saying, prevent prevents you from winning. What got you there? If you've been manning up and D'ing up all game long, why are you playing this where you letting everything in front of you? Yo, let's go. Let's play DM up and see what you got. But no, unfortunately, they played the soft zone, and at first, if you looked at the game, you saw where Shedeur Sanders, he started using his feet. He was running the ball, he was handing the ball off, and those things. I was like, man, they're not going to win a game like this. They got to throw the ball down the field, and then I guess they saw those soft pockets of the zone, and lo and behold, there it was. There it was. They drove 98 yards. They scored the touchdown, and there you go. We go into double overtime. We go into double overtime where there's a lot of penalties in this game. I believe Colorado State had like 175 yards worth of penalty yards. Colorado also don't have it in front of me, but they also had a lot of unforced errors and penalties, which wasn't good. I said previously about the Colorado State throwing the pick six to Shiloh Sanders, and also Travis Hunter. He fumbled in a very critical game where that was a scoop and score, and Colorado State ran the ball back. Those two scores kind of nullified one another, but you can't throw the ball to the other team, as we always say on this show, and you can't cough it up in critical situations. Some people say it wasn't a fumble. It was a fumble. He was laying on top of the guy. He wasn't on the floor according to the letter of the rule. And so he wasn't down. Ball was live. Ball was taken out of his hands, and they scooped and scored. And like I said, as far as all the chippiness that was going, it's no place for it, man. The late hit on Hunter was absolutely unnecessary, and that should have been a targeting call too. But they got the other dude for targeting Shedeur Sanders at the end. So let's go to overtime. So overtime, Colorado, they go in, and the tight end that scored the first overtime touchdown. If you remember, there was two or three plays prior to that where he cost them because he wasn't set up correctly. So it was a legal formation. He wasn't set up, and it drove him back, which could have critically, ended their game. So he catches a touchdown. They go up. Colorado State, kudos to them. They come back. They answer back, and they tie the game up at 35. And then Colorado, the state in Colorado is kind of getting me jacked up here. Colorado, they go in the second overtime, and this is where you have to go for two. Shedeur Sanders was able to toss the ball to his wide receiver in the end of the end zone again. They score. They're up by 8. Colorado State looked what appeared to score a touchdown as the quarterback was scrambling, but a legal pick was set. Legal pick. It clearly wasn't a legal pick. For those that are saying it wasn't, it clearly was. And that nullified it. That backed them up to a 4th and 20, where the Colorado State threw an interception. Game over. Shout out to Colorado. As Coach Sanders said, his team was absolutely resilient. They came back. And yeah, they probably should have just took this team out. And as I always say, when other teams too have pride. And if they got pride, they're going to play. They're going to play. And this is what happened in this game right here, where the Colorado State, definitely the underdog, right? 23.5 point underdog. They was able to muster up whatever that was going on during the week, and they absolutely took that to heart and played their hearts out. Wasn't enough because they made too many mistakes, especially at the end. And Colorado's just a better team. And Coach Prime said it in his press conference. He said he had to win this game, else this press conference was absolutely going to be merciless. And he's right. And that comes with the territory when you talk. And he should know he's been doing it his whole professional career. Whether it's when he was playing baseball with the Yankees and the Reds, or playing with the Braves also, sorry, and playing football with the Falcons and with the Niners and with the Cowboys at his heyday, and also with Washington and with the Ravens. So comes with the territory. Colorado's 3-0. Colorado State's 0-2. Colorado has Oregon up next, and if they're making all these mistakes, I don't think this is. They better be careful. That's all I'm going to say. They need to be careful. They need to be able to clean that up, and the defense needs to show up, especially against Oregon, who mollywop Hawaii 55-10. So they need to get on their board about that. Let me talk about the next game. Alabama. And you're probably saying, why are we talking about Alabama? We're talking about Alabama because they lost against Texas last week, right? And this week they was able to, I say, squeak out a win against South Florida, who's 1-2 and who's not ranked. Alabama's 2-1, and this game is of significance because Alabama can't seem to figure out their quarterback situation. So, excuse me. So they changed their quarterbacks twice yesterday. You had Simpson, who was in, and then you had also Tyler Buckner started, and they can't seem to figure that thing out. Now they're rushing their running game. Williams, he had 17 attempts for 129 yards, 1 TD, and you had also the quarterback Simpson. When he came in, he rushed for a TD also. So that was the end of their scoring plus the field goal. So I say this: Alabama is one of, I think this is my opinion about this. They are, because of the transfer portal, things are starting to tighten up. Players who Alabama can no longer stockpile players and just have them on the bench. Kids want to play. When I was younger, I wanted to play. And if you really are a competitor, you really want to play, right? So what that says, this transfer portal is absolutely shortening the gap between the haves and the haves not. And I say that with Duke. Shout out to, you root for Duke. They're 3-0. And it's because they have gotten better players from other teams. So Alabama, guess you better get your stuff together, man. You better get your stuff together. Let me go to the other game. And again, shout out to those that are listening to the sound of my voice. Make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel out there on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. No, I don't think we're on Twitch this morning. YouTube, all those things, man. I appreciate you. Make sure you smash that like button for me. And hey, we do what we do. Last game I wanted to talk about real quick, Tennessee, who was ranked 11th, probably will tumble down the rankings because Florida, who was unranked at the time in the AP, Florida defeated Tennessee 29-16. That was a premier game. This game wasn't close. It was 26-7 at the half, and game wasn't close at all. Trevor Etienne, he was 23 for 172 yards rushing. He had a 1 TD. Johnson, his cohort in the backfield, he was 12 of 23, and he also had 1 TD. Etienne, he ripped off a 62-yarder that helped him in that second quarter. The passing from Graham Mertz, he was 19 of 24 for 166 yards, 1 TD. 18 was his longest. There was a lot of chippiness in this game, especially at the end when Florida was up. And I blame the Tennessee head coach for calling that timeout. And it's like 7 seconds left. Why, bro? It's over. Why would you do that? And that when they snapped it, and that brought about, cats squaring up against one another. I just don't understand it, man. If you're getting beat, man, just be a gentleman about it and just let the clock run out. And that's what all that chippiness was about, my opinion. And, yeah, college football is a violent sport. It definitely is. And when you add all the other trash talk and all that stuff, this is sometimes is what you're going to get, especially with younger players. So, and sometimes the consequences could be, suspensions and things of that nature. So I think head coaches need to be held more accountable for this and just be smarter. Tennessee coach, that was dumb, my opinion. Why are you calling timeout? You're losing the game, bro. There's no way for you to win. Just take your L and walk into the tunnel, and that's it. Like I stated before, there was a lot of cupcake games on the schedule, and yesterday a lot of get money games. We always talk about this on this show, so that's why we only talked about these 3 games right here. So, listen, I'm going to get out of here, and again, thank you for enduring me again. For even though y'all couldn't hear me the last time with the sound, but thank God you got a sound now, and that wouldn't have been good on the podcast side either when I went to go download it and not have any sound. But listen, I'm going to get out of here. Make sure you enjoy your Sunday. NFL football is on tap today. Make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel. Also on the podcast side, if you're listening to the sound of my voice, make sure you leave us that great 5-star review. If you love sports like how we do, hey, hit us up, man. Help us grow this thing, man. Thank you so much, man. Hey, listen, I'm going to get on out of here on behalf of myself and all my co-hosts that's not here with me today. Hey, I'm Kevin L. Warren, your host and moderator. Enjoy your Sunday, man. This is the Sports Chasers podcast. I'm looking for this. All right. Y'all be good. Enjoy your Sunday. Be blessed. Peace.